it feels like everybody in the tables is an A-list superstar, or they're up for consideration in the Grammys.
Because of the way it's blocked off?
Yeah. I just want to ask an honest question. How Ty Dolla $ign get up in the front?
Bro, with them leather gloves on.
All right, we ready?
Yeah.
Yo, what up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of the Poet Up Podcast. It's your boy Doechii in the building, holding it down for the 613. I don't even know what area code that is.
You just named it.
Just area code. I don't even know if it's a real one. What's up, Ward?
Somebody in Anchorage, Alaska is like, yeah, throw it up. What up, people? This is Jay Ward. I am currently seeking Stranger Things, literally. Like, they've got to be in their 30s by now, right? I think like the final season is supposed to be coming out in the fall of this year. We'll see.
I hope that is a few years in the future, yeah, because them kids are adults now.
Right, they're not kids no more. What's up, Blues?
What's going on? It's your homeboy Blues. Hi. Stranger Things. You know what's not so strange? Kenny the Poet. Kendrick Cross is going to be in Stranger Things. This last, I think, season of 45-year-old kids. That is going to be very interesting to see them as, I guess it would be like graduating high school, getting ready to go to college kind of thing.
I mean, collecting welfare. I mean, Social Security. Wow. I don't know.
That nigga said welfare.
And we haven't had a drink yet. Actually.
We haven't even started drinking. Hey, Happy New Year's, fellas.
Appreciate you.
We're into the new year.
It's not too late.
It's not too late.
It's been a crazy year already.
I walked in someone's house and they still had Christmas trees up.
I wonder who that was.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
You want to know why it's crazy? Because now we have cameras, everybody, that you can see exactly what the fuck we're talking about when we say it. Also, as tradition would allow, we have our I don't even know which camera. See, this is how new the camera shit is. Oh, there it is. That we've got Eagle Rare. If you're picking this up, I'm going to hit all the cameras that we got. Hit them all, cuz. Eagle Rare. It is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Jamal, what is this on our table, brother? What is this about?
So this is the 10-year expression of the Buffalo Trace Distillery. That's who makes Eagle Rare. Aged 10 years at I think they're in Frankfort, Kentucky, location, which has been around since the late 1700s.
Is that the 613 area code?
Fuck if I know.
Probably. Let's just say so. It is.
Sure.
That was just a callback for no reason. Okay, go going.
But yeah, man, this is actually, well, in North Carolina, it's allocated pretty much everywhere. This is hard to find.
Okay.
It looks hard to find.
It looks.
Yeah, it's hard
well,
to
I mean,
find.
the rare is for sure. So we got that rareness. Shout out to Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace. If y'all are watching, send more.
Right.
And a dozen eggs.
No, man, we need a 36-pack. What are you
36
doing?
pack of eggs. I don't want too
12
much.
each.
I don't want us getting too many eggs because then, people come look and be like, yo, we heard y'all got like hella eggs over here. Be like, nah, cuz we only got a smooth dozen that we split between 3 people.
You got 4 eggs apiece.
Run it.
Well, I'm going to pour up because it is the Poet Up podcast. What are we talking about today? What are we doing?
I mean, we've had an interesting week. So the Grammys kicked us off.
The Grammys, baby.
Grammys kicked us off. But also some like really interesting music news after and during the Grammys.
What are we doing? What kind of music news are we talking about?
Well, first of all, we got news at the top of the week that Lil Wayne is officially not going to be at the Super Bowl.
What?
Did you see this?
I did not. I missed this.
Oh, no, he made a whole announcement that
is he not even going to be in the city? Like,
he's not going to be at the Super Bowl, so that seat will be empty, was his exact words. And he said, but I got something for y'all. I got something special coming for y'all on Thursday. Stay tuned for an announcement.
Okay.
The 2 announcements came today. The first one, I was like, I was not waiting for that announcement. You know that song by D'Angelo Ball?
Oh, my God. Yes.
So there's going to be a remix with Lil Wayne on it.
Why?
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, so that was the first announcement. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. Okay, the second announcement is the Carter 6, June 6
Oh.
of 2025.
Okay.
See, I don't know if you're thinking what I'm thinking, But Wayne has been outside since he has taken offense since the time that Kung Fu Kenny was announced as the
he's
Super Bowl
probably
performer.
coming out with a full
He's
clip.
been outside. He's been outside the entire time. He put a
right.
concert. You never heard nothing from Wayne for a while.
Now
I
he's
think
got Louisiana on tour.
Right. You're on tour. A LiAngelo Ball remix and a whole album's worth of material.
Why would he do that?
You know, why not? I think in this age of you can win a Grammy for a diss record, why not just come out here and just start firing shots?
No. I meant, why would he get on a song with LiAngelo Ball?
Oh, you went back to that.
You still stuck.
Oh, you still,
You're still right there.
Right.
like,
Hey man, listen, features.
I understand it though.
It's if you pay him for a feature, he'll show up.
that's true.
I don't even know. Like, this might be something that if I was Wayne, I would consider I would consider doing it for free. For one, LiAngelo ain't got but so much money to pay you. But two, he has a viral hit. And he might be a one-hit wonder. He might. But he's got a viral hit right now at a time that you want to promote a new album that's coming.
That's true.
I think that makes sense.
Man, LiAngelo got money.
I was about to say,
He got his brother's money.
He got
It's-
$8
He got,
million.
you just said he
off
got
the
his
deal.
brother's money.
He got his brother's money,
Oh, my bad.
which he had. I'm just super convinced if none of his other brothers were playing basketball, we wouldn't hear a peep. This song would be, not would be. This song is trash, right? It's just catchy as hell.
Well, LaMelo wrote the song, right?
No, he
Wait a
did
minute.
not.
Jamal, are you saying things or are you saying
No.
like-
LaMelo Ball wrote that song.
Wow. This is how detached I am from the music scene. Are you
Google it.
serious? I don't want to Google
I
it
might have to do
because
some research on
because I don't want it to be true.
Right, exactly.
I don't want it
the name
to
of
be
the song?
true.
He got a record deal off of it.
What's
That's
the name of the
crazy.
song? Swerve.
No, twerking or tweaking or something, whatever. Tweaking.
Yeah.
Here's
okay.
my problem with the
Tweaker.
joint.
Yeah.
You were raised by a black man to be respectful, to focus in on your goals, to work hard, to hustle. At what point was Daddy Ball letting you load up a gun and then riding down on
never.
niggas?
No, never.
So where does that come up in the song? Like, here's my fear, is that someone's going to try you. If you come to Charlotte, we know the YNs in Charlotte. That's young niggas for all our white audience. The YNs is going to try you. They're notorious. They tried T.I., they've tried Boosie. I believe they tried Wayne when he came here. Like, these niggas will try you.
Yeah.
If you running around here with a top song and part of it is like, this is what I do, this is how I tweak out, someone's going to be like, oh, word?
Yeah.
And if a dude murders young Dolph for $800, what you think they're going to do to you, bro? For clout.
But speaking in Charlotte specifically, though, does the fact that his brother, LaMelo, like, is in the city, like, do you think that changes anything?
No.
LaMelo ain't out here talking about shooting and,
At
and
all.
banging or nothing.
LaMelo's out here doing community work. He's out here helping the city. Like, yo, trying to lift it up. He's definitely not about that life, man. Now, his dad's not about that life. His brothers are not about that life. It's crazy to me that that's what we gravitated towards for this song to become popular, right? Because it's not the most lyrical thing you've ever heard of in your life. It's just
catchy.
it's a glorification of some sort of violence. And then we gravitate toward the violence, and then we automatically give him this authority and this pass. Like, yeah, he said it. He got money. He's that guy. And we all know he's not that guy.
Right.
We all know he's not that guy.
So is that a hip hop thing? I just recently finished audiobooking, listening to Hip Hop is History by Questlove.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the way he broke it down, it was just crazy to see how like far away from the originality of hip hop it has come. And he didn't make this point in the book, but listening to the book, I don't know what it, yeah. But
It's like freestyling. It's not really freestyling, but you read it. So you read the book, right?
Right.
If you listen to it, it's readings.
Yeah.
Same thing.
weird. But it's like he was saying that, people used to get into rap to have a career, and now like people get into rap because it's pop music, right?
Yeah.
And is it formulaic in the fact that, in the sense that you have to have some type of street cred to be considered hot? I mean, I know we know for a fact that's not true, but do these people who are coming into, who, like, they didn't grow up on Jungle Brothers, Tribe Called Quest, like, they didn't grow up on these groups. They grew up on do what's hot,
Right.
or do what's street, or you have to be this thing. And I wonder if hip hop is like dead.
Go ahead.
I mean, I don't think it's dead at all. I do think that the quickest avenue to make money is going to be the most appealing for a young artist, and is absolutely going to be the most appealing for a record label. I think a record label is going to do their best to convince a young artist that this quick way to make money is the only way to make money.
Yeah. The turnover rate is so high. Like, they remember back in the day when they wanted you to make a full album and they wanted you to be a full artist? They don't care about that shit.
Right.
How fast can you get on TikTok?
Yeah.
How fast can you stream up 1 million, get to 1 million streams in a week?
Yeah.
We don't care what happens after that. Bobby Shmurda is the perfect example of, we don't care what happens to you after that.
Right.
You're right. Yeah, that's
Right? Because when he got locked up, he was gone. Dirk. We don't hear anything else about Dirk since he's been locked up.
Yep.
Like, no one's I mean, he shouldn't be locked up for the shit he did. But also, you know what I'm saying? No one's really advocating for that. But because we also have all these amazing artists out here who we still don't ride for, who are doing a very positive thing. Like, J. Cole is hot, but he's not who's that artist out here who will shoot you in the face hot, right?
Yeah.
He's consistently, and his base is strong.
He got a strong base.
He's got a strong base, so he doesn't need to go viral. But I look at Boogie. Like, he has a sound, and it's this one sound, and it's always this da-da-da, and it's always about some sort of sexual thing, and it's one consistent theme across the board. It never varies. And that's the other thing. We had an Andre 3000 who started off sort of hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now we have Flute playing Andre, because his bass has allowed him to grow up and allowed him to develop. These kids don't want their artists, their Grizzlies and all these other cats to grow out of that street shit. The minute you start talking different, nigga, you fell off. Like, I just wanted to say I felt sad today. No, you didn't kill 16 people today, nigga, you fell off. I fell off.
Right.
That's crazy. But I think that's where we are. So hip hop's not dead in that sense. It's just, it's very in this box. Shout out to Doechii for winning that Grammy. Like,
First
that
of all,
is a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for me, I said this back in December, and when I said it, I was like, all right, this is gonna be my mantra for the whole year. I feel like we are entering a new golden era of hip hop, actually, and I think Doechii is like leading that charge. And I think it kind of starts with, and I don't want to glorify the battle too much, but the battle between Drake and Kendrick became like this call, like this moment in hip hop. And I don't think that it changed anything in hip hop by itself, but I think because of that call, we are now listening to a Tyler album where most people can't access a Tyler album.
Right.
This Tyler album was incredible.
Yeah.
And then Doechii. And I think you have artists coming out now that we are more willing to listen to. And maybe it's the fatigue from the battle. Maybe it's like, man, that shit got dark.
Yeah.
But does hip hop have to be all one thing? And now we're getting these artists that are clearly other things, but so dope at the same time.
And I think what that battle also did was hit sort of this reset button on where hip hop was going, this trajectory, because it was getting like to this ultra violent thing where people were physically like dying, right? Yeah. So then we get into this battle. You were choosing a side. You were starting to dig through, but then you were reminded of all the other beefs and battles, how it all remained on wax for all you young kids out there, remained on wax. But then inside of that, you had access points for a Common and Pete Rock album to surface, right?
Yeah.
And then Redman drops an album. Like, so all these older hip hop cats are like, oh, y'all talking about this shit again? Let me remind y'all while we're still hot, right? So then you have this resurgence of another golden era coming back, and it's good. Like the music is, it doesn't feel or sound super dated. Like it's dated, but it's not like, hey, ha 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 ha, hey, it's not that, right? It has a classic.
I feel like that's what it sounds like to the young people.
It probably does, right? It probably does. But it does have this very, very nuanced sound, right? That we're used to, almost like a boom bap, but boom bap with sandals and nice linen on at some point. You know what I'm saying? Or it's J's and jeans on, right? So I think it's a reason for a younger audience to go back and listen to what these cats have done and we're doing, and then it's also a chance for us to appreciate what the kids are doing now, right?
Yeah.
And so you have this sort of bridging. But yeah, man, shout out to Kendrick and Drake for that.
Yeah.
For whatever that was.
Oh, so in album news also. All right, there's a lot of pressure, I think, on this album for Wayne to be good.
Yeah.
Right?
It better be. It better be.
and listen, I think there's pressure too, like, what are you going to talk about? Like, you have to mention Kendrick. You don't have to diss him, but you got to mention him because he mentioned you.
Right.
This is all coming after the Super Bowl, and it's also coming after, like, you can't talk about Drake without talking about Wayne, even though I don't know that they've talked in the last few years. Like, they haven't even done a project together in the last few years. So I don't know where they are. But with this album, is Drake on it? Is he addressing Kendrick at all? What's happening? Because he wrote a whole song about Kendrick. At least one. He wrote a diss and put it in the chamber, and then the two of them just talked it out. Mm-hmm. But he got it. So what's happening with this album? And then the second thing is lots of pressure on this album. I don't know if you know this, but there's a joint album coming out next week on Valentine's Day from Drake and Party Next Door.
Wow. I did see that.
So you talk about pressure. There's pressure on that.
What do you think
album.
that's going to sound like?
I think it's going to sound like Valentine's Day. I think it's going to sound like...
It's going to sound like Valentine's Day.
I think it's going to sound like...
It's going to sound like Valentine's Day.
I think he's going to be singing.
Yeah.
I think it's going to sound like classic Drake P&D, classic Drake Weekend even. And subs all day.
Yeah.
He'll have a couple of rap joints on there that'll be taking shots at Kendrick because he doesn't know any other way, even though he lost. He doesn't know any other way. He can't help himself. But I think that's pressure, because the pressure is, had he handled this differently, we're not even talking about this battle anymore. Mm-mm. But Drake has been all in his feels and making all the wrong moves. Mm-hmm. So there's an intense amount of pressure on this album.
Yeah. Because no one's going to be able to think about anything else but what happened before.
Right.
You made a Valentine's Day album.
And you're suing your company because...
I think he dropped it, though.
And then he filed another one. Oh, did he drop the second one?
I think he dropped the second one, too.
I think it was a ploy, and, shout out Sharice. She was saying this from the beginning of the lawsuit. She thinks the whole lawsuit thing was a ploy to make it so Kendrick would not perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was an attempt to stop him. But you're right, though. Like, that lawsuit.
Like, come on.
Yeah. I think that's what everybody's like, nigga, please.
Come on.
Yeah. No, that's the most un-hip-hop move ever.
Un-hip-hop move ever.
Everything he's done in response to this has just been wrong. This is bad.
And you know what's even worse? If it was a ploy for him to try to get Kendrick not to do Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. You know what happened Sunday night when Kendrick won 5 Grammys?
Everybody else sang it?
Everybody else, he's coming up to and everybody's singing in the Grammys. And right. I mean everybody like Taylor Swift, like Beyonce, like not Tyler the Creator, like all of these like big, it's so like.
Like if your genre was chamber music, I'm a flautist from Berlin. You had no idea what was going on, but if you were watching the Grammys that night, he won Song of the Year. What song is this? And he pushes play. He's like, holy shit.
Right.
Now there's a whole new breath of fresh air into that diss song. That was crazy to watch. I watched it in real time.
Yeah.
Me and my daughter got up and were like a crip walking across the damn room. We felt like we were for Compton and we got the win. Like, because I think what has been happening is in all these forums, I'm in a bunch of different hip hop rooms. Like a year ago, a couple months ago, man, Kendrick ain't never Kendrick this, Kendrick. It was all a bunch of negative Kendrick. I took a few screenshots just to make sure I can go back and look. I want to go back so bad. Like, I'm going to go back and be like, hey, remember on this date when you said Kendrick will never win Album of the Year? Nigga, not only did he do it, he did it in a Canadian tuxedo. Did y'all see it? Full denim.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, wow, he doesn't stop trolling this dude. Like,
he's never going to stop. I mean, technically, they were both doing it to each other. We just didn't know. they've been doing it since after Mad City.
I was about to say, since whatever that song that was on Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah.
Like, after that, Kendrick was like, I do not fuck with this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was wild.
Okay, so we talked a lot about the battle and other stuff. What was your immediate impressions about the Grammys? You mentioned Doechii.
Doechii was great. So the new artist category, the way they presented it was so fucking fire. So you had Benson Boone. They were talking to everybody at the table.
First of all, okay, go ahead.
And then
that was wild.
I thought they were, usually they just go to a clip of them singing their song and then another one. This dude gets up, rips off the tuxedo, has on a one-piece powder blue, whatever it was, and with this mustache looking hella 70s, and is singing his ass off, goes up to the stage, gets on the piano, flips off the piano, hits it, and is singing. And I'm like, holy shit. This is the first guy.
Right.
So that's when I was like, yo, I don't know who's going next, but you got to do something. And it's Doechii.
Yeah.
And then Doechii's doing her thing. She comes out of her skirt and whatever's in a two-piece dancing. And I'm like, God bless it. Tampa, Florida, y'all got one right here.
Up. Yeah.
And then it was...
was it Chappell Roan next? Or was it... no, it was Sabrina Carpenter next, I think.
No, it was not Teddy Swims. It might have been Teddy Swims.
Teddy Swims was right after Doechii.
Yeah. So he has on this full robe, rose-colored glasses. There's roses all over his
singing his tail off.
Singing his... And I'm thinking, no performative. He's singing.
Yeah.
So all you're like is like, God damn, this boy can sing. And then was it Chappell Roan next?
Now I can't remember the order. But I feel like Sabrina went before Chappell Roan.
Yeah, one of the two. But then Ray comes up and she's in a classic black dress. There's
Amy Winehousing it out.
Big band behind her, and she does this note that goes from low to high, back down. It's crazy.
It was a good performance.
It was great. I was like, I don't care. Whoever wins deserves to win. Oh, Shabuzi. Shabuzi did something too.
Shabuzi. Yeah. Shabuzi.
Damn, he was forgettable. Sorry about that.
I mean, compared to everybody else.
But Shabuzi,
he did his thing.
His suit looked dope. It was fly. It was very Tennessee Williams kind of thing, bro. It was great. It was great.
I enjoyed so the moment when Beyonce won. First of all, I don't think that was a real I don't think that was real.
Yeah, Beyonce is terrible at acting.
Yeah, I don't.
We all know this, right?
Wait, okay, go ahead.
Lion King, Austin Powers, Dreamgirl. She's terrible. Go ahead.
I knew you were gonna find right.
The Beehive.
I saw you big up Beyonce on your social media. I was like, that something's off, and then so I knew you were gonna find a way to.
Oh
yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say.
So I was listening.
You said she didn't look. Her look of surprise.
I remember that, but I was actually going to say something different, and I started with that, but now I can't remember what the second point was.
It'll come back to you.
Yeah. So I was listening to Trevor Noah's podcast. What about what we do now? What about now? Something, whatever it's called. Sorry, Trevor Noah, if you're listening to this. I've listened. But anyway, he had the guy who runs the Oscars. I mean, the Grammys on. And they were talking about like how they do shots and like the process of putting everything together. And according to him, he was like, they just so happened to catch Beyonce because they do shots of whoever's in the category, right? And it just so happened that when they announced it, they were already on Beyonce, and he was like, you know, we wouldn't have gotten that if they were talking about something else, because they were talking about how, if you notice in the Grammys now, they don't put everybody up on the screen anymore. Mm-hmm. And he was like, that was like the first change he made. And he did it because he heard so many artists saying that they felt like they were in like a zoo, basically, with cameras always in their face and all that stuff. That's why they have the tables now and not in rows and stuff like that. But according to him, it was random, and she had no idea that she was going to win.
Oh. I actually remembered as you were talking what my thing about Beyonce was going to be. I think the reason they don't want cameras in their face has nothing to do with a zoo. I think they don't necessarily want the cameras to see their honest reaction that they can't hide, because everybody in Beyonce's category was happy for her except one person, and it was a country singer.
They talked about that too.
Okay.
And he said the reason that...
Who was it?
I can't remember
her name.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of the... It's not like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift is always like
know
everybody's cheerleader.
I remember everybody who was there. I remember the one person, I think who I know it is, looked like a hater. Like,
yeah.
Go ahead.
So, according to him, it's because the technical director... So, like, as the guy that's running the show, he kind of tells them, like, go here. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, the technical director didn't hear him until late. And so they didn't go to the shot until after the lady was like done cheering. Mm-hmm. So it looked like, and he was like, the way that people's reactions go, like, he's like, he tries to catch them on the up of their applause or whatever. But if it was like this millisecond was late, so they're catching it on the downside, and it looked like she didn't give a fuck.
It still looked like a hater. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but it looked like a hater to me.
I'm telling you what the white man said, okay?
It would have been me. There'd have been a camera on me. I'd have been like, this bitch.
Oh, speaking of which, do you know, I can't decipher Jaden Smith. So
Castlehead?
Yeah. But his reaction when Doechii won, I don't know what that meant. Do you know what that meant?
These are weird children. I don't know what the fuck that is. Jaden, you're trying to decipher. A kid who wore a castle on his head. Not a hat or a beret or even like a big funeral hat that a woman would wear, or old grandma. This nigga wore a big black castle.
Yeah.
And sat in front of people, obstructing views. Yes. Yo, if it would have been me, I'd have been like, yo, Jaden, I appreciate your artistry, cuz. Take that shit off.
Take that shit off.
I don't care if your daddy is in here. He won't slap the shit out of me before I slap the shit out of you. Take that big ass. That was the weirdest shit. So I have no idea what it meant.
Can I tell you something else that was weird? We have this new setup with the tables, right? So it feels like everybody in the tables is an A-list superstar, or they're up for consideration in the Grammys.
Because of the way it's blocked off?
Yeah.
Shout out to technical directors, Julius Ward and Jamal Cow. Yeah.
I just want to ask an honest question. How Ty Dolla $ign get up in the front?
Bro, with them leather gloves on.
I like Ty Dolla $ign.
I love Ty, but bro, maybe he worked on, because he's a producer and a writer, so maybe he got the invite. But he was up there like, I've got shit. I'm gonna get on stage at some point.
Or he was somebody's plus one. Because so I'm back to this What Now podcast. Trevor Noah. They talked about Kanye and the stunt him and his wife pulled,
which was weird as fuck.
Right.
It was weird. Super weird.
So
I look at that and it makes me feel like really slimy and gross about Kanye. Like that you would, because I don't think that's her. Like, I don't think that's her that wants to do that.
No, I hope not.
Yeah. So I feel like if you are,
I mean, I say I hope not. I mean, if that's you, then that's you.
If that's you, that's you. But it makes me feel like he is imposing on her to do these things, which I think is really slimy.
Yeah.
So basically, so somebody else on the podcast asked, like, well, what if Kanye had come in the venue? What would have happened? And the dude was like, well, probably nothing, because he could have been someone's plus one. So I say that to say that Ty Dolla $ign could have been somebody who was nominated plus one, and they don't like, okay, well, I guess Ty Dolla $ign is sitting here now. We thought somebody else was, but
I guess the question then becomes, why was Trevor Noah talking to him? Like, like of all the people in there, Trevor's like, Ty Dolla $ign? I'm gonna go talk to him. And he probably saw he had on fucking leather gloves, which I think is a very LA thing to do. Then it made me think, like, how come we don't just wear leather gloves? Like,
driving gloves.
Right.
yeah, like just because,
That's what
yeah.
the glove compartment in your
Yeah,
car
it
is
was
for.
for gloves, nigga. Ain't nobody.
Driving-
He had them on, bro. All right, so all those things, and then of course this is the Poet Up podcast. Let's talk about a little poetry. Let's talk about
Yeah.
the Grammy Award-winning poet
Dig into it.
Rona Tank.
Hey.
She won it.
Yeah.
I'm glad she won it. I was pulling for Sheba for obvious reasons. But I'm all right. Which camera am I looking at?
Which one?
Whichever one you will cut to. That
I'm
one.
glad Tank won, and I appreciate all of the artists in that category. Skills. I appreciate you trying to put in it. You not trying. You successfully put one in and got the nomination. Now my question is skills. When did we get the second poetry album? Because this was what we were sort of beefing about earlier. Like, niggas just show up as tourists or whatever and then don't ever come back. And this would go also for Beyonce. Are we gonna get another country album?
Actually,
gonna get
in her
enough?
defense, though, she never said it was a country album.
But in order to get nominated for that, you have to submit it as such.
Oh.
yeah. So you will see another thematic album, but not necessarily a country album.
Okay, well,
Because
that's fair, and
it's
that's,
gonna
she
be-
does that.
It's going to be a rock and roll album, I believe.
She does that, and Dolly Parton did it too. And damn, we're getting way off track. Dolly Parton was about to be nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She turned it down because she said, I technically have never done a rock and roll album. Let me do one real quick. This bitch went out and did a rock and roll album just so she could be in the thing. Fair. Fucking Dolly Parton, man.
First
You
of all,
gotta love her, bro.
Bro, if you do research on Dolly Parton,
You be like, this is
she's
the greatest woman
unfuckwittable, for real.
alive.
Bro, she's that bitch.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes, thematically we had Lemonade and all these other joints. So yes, that would make sense. I'm saying I feel like Skills owes us another poetry album.
because we want it for the culture. We're saying if you submitted to spoken word album category, are you in it for real or are you a tourist?
Which I don't think he is.
Right. Are you, because the common perception among poets is you didn't get a Grammy doing hip hop.
Nope.
And so you thought that the easy route was to use your connections to downgrade into spoken word poetry category to make it easier for yourself to win. And you know, shouts out, you did get the Grammy nomination, which I don't think you got a Grammy nomination for hip hop. So, like, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But your question is, if it's real, then there should be another one.
There should be another one. Like it's like watching a fighter who's a heavyweight drop a bunch of weight to fight in a weight class below him, and then like, are you gonna keep fighting down here because you're a heavyweight in the hip hop world? Cause like that's what you fucking do, and you're very fucking good at it.
Yeah.
And to see now, if it's for the artistry of it, I felt like you should have just did it. And then if it got nominated, maybe you did it. And you should have said, hey, y'all, I'm dropping a poetry album. I'm just going to happen to submit it for the Grammys. It was more like, hey, the Grammys have a spoken word category. I'm going to do a poetry album so I can get in. That's the way it felt. Instead of just being an artist in your own shit and say, hey, I'm capable of doing this. This is what I'm going to do. Oh shit, there's a category for that. Let me submit for that because I'm here. I've done the work on that part. So yeah, I feel like, and this might sound elitist or whatever, but I feel like Skills owes us another damn poetry album. Like, nigga, do it for the culture.
That's the only album that I would have had an issue with.
Yeah.
Because Amari's put his time in.
Amari's been put his time.
Amari's
in.
put his time in. Obviously, Sheba,
Yeah.
dope project. Also, you're on it, so like
Right.
I have like more than enough reasons to vote for Sheba.
Malik. He's been in the game,
been in it,
here, yeah,
been in it.
been in it. So yeah,
And the winner,
Tank. Listen, one thing so I never got a chance to slam against Tank. Tank's last year was the year before I went to Southern Fried for the first time. So I faced Snow, which I think that was their last time coming to Southern Fried. I faced Snow, but it was without Tank.
Yeah.
But I've met Tank a few times. Real cool people, talented, super talented. So happy for their success as a band. Yeah. On everything that they've done, they've blown up. So I can't be happier. And I took a listen to the project too. Project's solid. Project's dope.
Yeah,
so.
Project's super dope. It's super solid. Yeah. And I listened to all of them. And Malik's is very, very abstract. It's out there. Omari's is hella theatric. Some of the tracks are really long, and he kind of raps in some of it and does some song in front of it, and then on the back end is like some poetry, which I get it. Like, you're just flexing all your muscles. I would have just cut to the poetry part of it, but shit, it's Omari. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Then nigga's in a Star Trek movie. God damn,
Right?
Crazy. And then you know what? Conceptually, Skills' fucking shit conceptually was dope as hell. So it was all his first. It was called, I think, First Seven, and all his first times of something that happened in his life. Conceptually, it was fucking great.
Yeah.
But it was just so very almost on beat rhythmic for me. Not that that's a bad thing, because poetry is what it is, whatever it is. But it just felt like you were still rapping.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It felt like you were rapping more than you were sort of doing this poetic cadence.
Yeah.
Especially in comparison to everybody else that was putting up shit. Like boom. Because Sheba's joint was chock full of just dope ass poets, right?
Yeah.
And then of course Tank's just seasoned. And I think what happens too is Tank has been making records for a while, so she knows how to craft it. And it don't hurt if you got little Robert Glasper and Samara Joy on your joint. Because I was like, yeah,
right.
Damn. How are we supposed to compete with that? That shit was crazy. But man, shout out to Jay Ivy and everybody who put in the work for getting the spoken word category to make it exactly what this was supposed to be. Yeah. Even with Skills in it. Like, it's supposed to be that. Not fucking Barack Obama reading from his book. And then me and Michelle went to the lake. Man, Barry, you want to hear this shit? That nigga won a Grammy off that, bro.
I know. Yep.
I want to go on record and say I'll fight Obama over that. Look how my co-host just left me behind. I'm kidding. Shout out to Eagle Rare.
You are officially a Grammy nominee though, right? Or a Grammy nominated artist.
Somewhere in the area, adjacent.
We got to figure out a way to put it on your bio.
Hey, I'm just put it on there.
I found the way. I'm just gonna say
the shit. But hopefully, I putting in some work, and we've all been working on some different projects. That hopefully we get something out there on our own. Yeah.
So, okay. Does this past year's nominees, does that up the bar for future nominees? Like, meaning, okay, we all know a bunch of poets that have poetry albums, and 97.8 to 4% of them are terrible. So,
damn.
I know, right? That's fucked up.
It's a high number.
It's a high number.
That nigga hated everything. He hated everything.
So does, not necessarily do you have to have $1 million producer or a big name on your project, but does your project now have to meet a threshold? If you're not at least coming here, you have no shot.
I think that started with Jay Ivy.
I think so too.
I think that started even before Tank and them. Jay Ivy set the bar hella high. But also, shouts out to, and I don't know the Grammy president's name, but The Weeknd, and I'm going to get into that in a minute. The Weeknd had all these complaints about how the voting was done, yada, yada, yada. So now it's really based. You notice how every time they said based on the 13,000 they were
right.
real specific in saying like,
Yeah.
it wasn't us. It was these motherfuckers y'all call friends and, colleagues. They did the voting. So I think it still will come down to what those 13,000 people decide, right? And what I gathered, too, was with the Grammys, you get a certain amount of votes, right? If you're a voting member, you get a certain amount of votes. And you specifically have to sort of vote in the category that you practice in.
Mm-hmm.
So if we all become voting members, there's no reason for us to be voting classical album of the year.
Right.
Like we don't fuck with classic album, but we could vote in hip hop, spoken word, maybe R&B. I think there's maybe I think you get a certain amount, but it's that. So it's you don't get to vote in every category, but you get to vote in a certain amount of categories. And if I feel like skills was the one that won, then that's what I'd vote for. And if everybody voted that way, then that's what it was. Right? So the production value only enhances it, right? It influences everybody, or more people hear it, the more people talk about it. That campaign that most of these poets go on, it's just a campaign for the voters, but the production level should be high anyway. Like the Grammys should be like the thing that you want to win, but the production of the artistry, that should level up, should be the thing that you're going for, because then that turns into more work to more work to more work, right? It's like winning slam. Like, it's cool if you want to slam, but are the poems good?
Yeah. And I think like the level constantly goes up anyway, because right now you can have home studio equipment and you can produce at a level, if you know what you're doing, you can produce at a level that 10, 15 years ago you could only do in the studio. Mm-hmm. But if you are actually going to submit for Grammy consideration, then I think you are definitely going to be working with a real producer. You're going to be working in a real studio. Real is not the right word.
I feel hit. Good gosh. No, I'm
But you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
So first of all, I don't know why you would feel hit. This studio is dope. It's turned out some classics right?
It has.
Shit.
I'm strictly talking about Grammy consideration. Because
just
unlike, wait a minute. Y'all think that was bad, but he just said that 99.9468710% of all spoken word albums
and
ever
I
produced.
said the first black president was terrible.
The fellas came back on one.
Oh my God! Welcome to 2025.
Oh man. Oh gosh. I forgot where we were going.
I forgot where we were at. Because
I know where we're supposed to be going.
Oh, you were talking about the level of someone's studio.
I'm just saying that I think the water rising has made all of us rise,
right?
In terms of what we're going to produce and what we're going to put out there.
Yeah,
right. Which, I mean, that makes sense. So, I mean, but you can produce a Grammy nominated album from your home studio.
Absolutely,
if you have the right equipment, knowledge, stuff like that,
which Jamal has,
and a good mix engineer.
Do you have a deep dive for us?
No. I mean, yes, but no.
Okay. So
we kind of already talked about it.
Okay.
It was about how it was going to be about a couple of things. Did Drake cause? So I've seen Drake stans say, "Oh, Kendrick only got his Grammys because he dissed Drake, right? For Not Like Us." And of course, in which song, Family Matters, I think. Mm-hmm. Drake has that line. Kendrick speaking. Somebody get him a Grammy.
Kendrick just opened his mouth. Somebody go hand him a Grammy right now.
So, is it the work? Like, let's say GNX came out 6 months earlier, right? Let's say there was no Kendrick Drake beef. Let's say that just still subliminal shot after whatever. Does anything on GNX get Grammy consideration?
I feel like you've asked three different questions.
I probably did.
I'm going to start with the last one for me. GNX is a good album. It's great in context of being right after the battle. It is almost his last album to me ranked. Like if you rank all Kendrick's albums, it ranks just above Mr. Morale, but it doesn't rank above any of the other projects for me because it doesn't feel as cohesive. Also, if you take away the Drake disses and subs that are in GNX, you probably reduce the album by half. That being said, it's still a good body of work. I think it would still be considered, but only if it was earlier. Because I don't think that album is anywhere close to as good as Tyler or Doechii.
Right. It's right place, right time album. That's all it was. Even if with the Drake diss, it's still sort of, it goes hard. I'm trying to figure out how to say this in a way that makes sense. Does he get the Grammy for dissing Drake if the Drake thing is not a factor? If it's just turn the TV off? Or if it's just They Not Like Us? I think They Not Like Us is still a dope song if Drake is not the center of attention. Because They Not Like Us is still a consideration of what else outside the culture is not like us, right? Because he could have talked about anything else.
Yeah.
So I think that song still exists as it is. If you take Drake away from it and put in white supremacy, if you take it's his DNA, right?
Yeah.
It's his DNA if you take all the Drake stuff out of it. So yeah, I think the song still exists. I think he still wins a Grammy for it, especially if it's in the same vein as the DNA, right? Because DNA didn't have a personal focus. It had a global, right?
Some of the subs on DNA,
there were some, right? So if you go back, back to that, then it still works, right?
It still works,
right? I think though, where you might be like, I don't know if it works, because if you don't have Drake, then you don't get A minor, and that
is the catch.
That is the catch.
Yes.
So
as evidenced by the Grammys when everybody at the Grammys was singing.
Right. Which was, you know what? And shout out to whoever decided to play just that part, because it's a whole song. It's a whole song. That motherfucker said, "I'm going to play the one part that everybody knows,"
and it was timed.
It was,
so they played an earlier part of the song. That part came on as he was on the stage, and it fades out, and then all you hear is the crowd saying A minor.
And then someone faded it, like, yo.
Shout out to the musical director.
Whoever the musical director is, the technical, whoever was in charge of sounding, like, play from the 1 minute 15 mark.
Yep.
Go. And he was like, I'm timing Kendrick. If Kendrick gets up there, fade out, A minor. Let's wrap it up. Let's go home.
Let's go, fellas.
Go home. Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised. So for y'all who understand what the Grammys is, so if you are producing the Grammys, now you are up for an Emmy if it goes well. I will not be surprised if whoever the technical director wins an Emmy for the Grammys.
Interesting.
So it'll be interesting to see. It will be very interesting to see.
So I don't know if you've seen this interview that Kanye did recently, like within the last few days. Kanye did an interview, and they asked him about Not Like Us, and they asked him about Kendrick, and he first says, "Oh yeah, well you can't battle Kendrick, you can't rap against Kendrick unless you're a psycho genius like me."
Yep.
Right. But then he says, he compares it to being in a movie, and like he was like, I mean, he killed Drake, but I wish he didn't kill Drake, because who am I gonna like? That's my nemesis. He's like, you ever seen a movie where like the main villain like dies or goes away, and you're like, well, like what's my purpose now?
Well, what am I supposed to do? Like, I have no focus. I have nothing. It reminds me of the episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine when I'm about to get real deep into it. When Raymond Holt, when Captain Munch dies, which is his nemesis in the whole series. When she dies, and like, I have no purpose. What the fuck is happening? Like, he didn't even believe she was dead. Like, oh, she's not dead. She's just waiting. Like, oh shit, what am I supposed to do? That's wild, Kanye.
Kanye is nothing if not wild.
That's hilarious. Okay, we're doing now that we got video, we got some we're segmenting. And we have a new segment, Blues.
What's the segment?
I'm about to
I feel like as a person who's on the show all the time, these two niggas just came up with a new segment. And they said, hey, guess what? We got rid of DEI, nigga. You're fired.
So here's our new segment.
Mm-hmm.
It's called That's Cap. You know, it's a total surprise. I thought this was a different segment. I didn't know it was.
So now this motherfucker's gone rogue. He's just doing whatever he wants. He said, yo, if fucking the felon can do it, I can do it too. I refuse to call that nigga president. The felon could do it. I could just go rogue too. I do whatever I want. I'm just signing shit all day long.
This is going to be a softball one because I learned earlier in the week that Jamal did not watch the Grammys.
Oh.
So I prepared all my questions based on the fact that he did not watch the Grammys.
This is going to be incredible.
But,
I love it.
But based on everything he said so far, he's researched enough that he probably knows all these answers. But this is what you can expect for guests, because I'm going to blindside guests
Nice.
with questions that they may or may not know the answer to, and they have to respond that, if it's not true, they have to respond, that's cap, is basically a true or false, right?
Yeah. And even this will be a blindside. That'll tell us that you've never watched the show, so you didn't know this was coming. All right. I love it. It's a double down.
Okay, Jamal.
All right.
True or that's cap. Taylor Smith. It auto-corrected.
That's cap.
That's definitely cap.
Ring the buzzer. Okay. Taylor Swift won a record 5th album of the year, breaking her own record by being the only artist to win 4 times.
That's cap.
Exactly.
That's cap.
That is cap.
That is cap.
Do you know why that's cap?
Oh, no, I have no idea.
Cowboy Carter, nigga, what's up?
Right.
Oh, yeah, we just talked about that. Damn, let me give myself this sad trombone real quick.
All right. An artist was invited to perform at the Grammys for the first time since leading a boycott 4 years ago due to alleged corrupt nomination practices. That artist was The Weeknd.
What the fuck? I'm going to go with that's true.
That is true.
That is true. I just talked about it.
Look at me. Wait, we talked about that?
Well, no, I said I
okay.
was going to talk about it
Oh.
because he made this whole. So the president of the Grammys made this whole thing, and then he said The Weeknd brought us da 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 da. And we're like, oh shit, that's real specific to name this nigga like that. And then The Weeknd shows up to perform, and I'm like, oh, they could have left this out. Like it was
Right. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was very lackluster.
It was high production, but low.
Low performance. It was like, you did this at the Super Bowl. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because The Weeknd is still ducking Drake, right?
I don't know.
I mean,
I wouldn't.
know.
I wouldn't.
I mean, he might have to duck him in Canada if they still roll.
Yeah, I mean,
roll
yeah,
heavy
maybe in Canada.
Yeah, bruv. What do they say over there?
They don't say that.
They don't say that.
That's
say,
cap.
Crody.
Oh yeah, Crody. Yeah,
Crody.
Whatever.
All right. This last one's easy. We
What
talked
was
about this one.
What was her?
Common consensus: best rap album went to Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, I mean, yes.
Boom. That's wrong.
It's cap.
Oh,
That's cap.
okay.
Best rap album went to Doechii
Oh, you
for a mixtape, actually. But also J. Cole was nominated, and his was also, he considers it a mixtape. So might delete later.
Which I don't understand. If you have it tracked out without a DJ spinning between the songs, it's technically not a mixtape. It's
That's
just
true.
It's an EP. It's a short
Right.
hour, it's something, but it's not a mixtape. Doesn't stop the music. It's this song to this song. Anyway, that goes back to my freestyling thing. Everything's a freestyle. Did you hear the new Jake freestyle? You mean where he was just improvised rapping over beats? No, it was written, but it was on a beat that wasn't originally. Like, it's not fucking freestyle.
Wait.
But that's been the case for like
years
10 years or more now.
But it's annoying as shit.
Yeah.
It's annoying because I could say the whole Cowboy Carter album was a freestyle then.
Right.
Every album that comes out from now on is a freestyle. That's technically the definition. Like you're just saying because they are rapping over a beat. If you have no idea that was the beat, anyway.
Yeah,
I can't wait to make this post to annoy young people.
You know that the album from what's from the Clips? What's
Grinding?
No, not from the Clips. The main member of the Pusha, the album from Daytona. Mm-hmm. Remember Daytona? So Kanye produced that album. Push went in and recorded every song to specific beats. Kanye got the stems and changed all the beats. The first time Pusha heard Daytona, he was like, "What the fuck?"
I didn't record this.
He changed all the beats. Anyway, so technically that was a freestyle album.
That is stupid. That's stupid. That's stupid.
It is dumb.
All right, where we at? What's the next question?
I mean,
that's it. You got one right, one wrong. No, I got two right and one wrong.
Yeah. I'm a that's Cap champion. Oh, but anyway, that was.
It's called That's Cap.
That was That's Cap.
I love it. All right. Oh man, working on some new stuff, man.
Now,
speaking of freestyles,
yeah. Blues, you ready to freestyle?
Is that what you guys do on this show? Is that what happens on this show?
It is. It is. So we'll do that, and then we'll wrap up.
All right.
So, the beats, I made it. So,
bro, I want you to have a whole lot more confidence in 2025.
I've been working on some stuff, man.
I made it. All right.
I'll just play one. All right, here we go.
Oh, you made this?
Yeah, that's hot.
I love it. But nothing above it. Guaranteed it's hot straight out the oven. You gotta be loving that bang bang. Here we go. That's just the one. Here we go. It's 2025. They say we thrive. Gotta stay alive, man. I had to survive to drive over here. Shit, it's a brand new year. I can see this eagle rare. Yo, it's crystal clear. Age 10 years, man. I'm about to hit these beers at the studio. Yo, got an ill type flow. Anything can go, anything can live and be because Mr.
It ain't fair. Plus I got guns, that's a Desert Eagle rare. Bustin' my pop in the air. Then we watch your blood flow right out the chair.
Okay, wait. I thought maybe he would not be the same nigga he was last year.
You thought 2025 was gonna break out?
I thought maybe new year, new me. But clearly you get half a bourbon in this nigga, he's murdering everyone.
It's the beat. The beat was violent.
I like the Desert Eagle rare line though. That was a bar.
Yeah.
That was a bar.
Let's go, Ward.
Let's go, Ward.
Yeah, let's go, Jamal. Bring it in. That's a dope beat, by the way, actually.
Thanks. It's just a loop. It's already been.
If Jordan don't got it, I got it.
Jordan, before Jordan, that he did smoke.
Song been going for 30 minutes, nigga. Rap.
Damn it. So you caught that, right?
Caught it.
All right, let's see. So I can rap. I can just pull up a rap and rap it, right?
It's freestyle. I guess that's the same thing.
Let's see. Nope, I ain't got no raps, man. Okay. Wait, I got it. Let's see. I think I can do 8 bars. Let's see. Nope, I ain't got it, man. I ain't got it, man. Yo,
Who to this man?
Shout out to our listeners all over the world. Unfortunately, the things we talked about can't do. But shout out to the US of A.
Yep.
Shout out to Puerto Rico and Germany.
right, no tariffs.
With the tariff having asses. Or that's I don't know, Australia.
What's up?
Shout out to Ireland,
What's up?
Russia,
What's up? Yep.
Brazil,
What's up?
the UK,
What's up?
Sweden.
What's up?
Okay, and I'm not gonna say everybody else because it's less than 0.1%. But thank y'all. So we appreciate it. This is the Poet Up Podcast. We are back. Check us out. Rate us, review us. In the words of Bomani Jones, give us 5 stars. Because if you only give us 4 stars, we're inclined to think that you're a hater. And we out.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Everything you saying sounds dope.
Poet Up,